Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Quebec Homestead. Intro this week.
Beautiful 5x5.
So stay tuned for weekly uploads. All right. I am going to pop back here. Angie, you got to mute, or is that me? Shoot, I think I didn't unmute my own YouTube. I literally just told her, mute your YouTube because I'm going to hear it. And I didn't. I am so new at this. Please forgive me. So, Mallory, back this week, and I have Mianu Acres Angie here with me. And she is in Ontario, so she's not too far away from where I live. And she is completely off grid, which is awesome. She just said with her husband, Mike, we're going to leave the city, quit our jobs, and go live in Ontario off grid completely. So I can't wait for you guys to meet her. This is my first time really like talking face to face with her as well. So welcome, Angie.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
All right. So we have a few people in the chat. Sorry?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Yeah. I can hear you now. Perfectly fine, loud and clear.
Oh.
All right. So we have a few people in the chat.
Yes, I can see them a little blurry, and that's country internet for you, but
yeah, well, I guess that's off grid, right? So
yeah.
I'm going to just say, I see Dave from Wilderstead is here. Hey, Dave, Sean in Alaska, David Outdoors, Colin from Kincaid Outdoors. I have Laj DIY, Jack from the Mindful Homestead. Thank you guys for showing up. I see Blake as well. Blake was in there, and Grace Martin. Howie, Food Forest Permaculture. Emily, Rob, man, a whole bunch of people are in here. That's pretty cool. Thank you guys for showing up. Is there anybody from your side that you see in there?
I see Emily so far.
All right. Nice to meet you, Emily. Thank you for stopping by Quebec Homestead's live stream. All right. So as you guys know, I usually do a live stream with like a topic and a guest when I start. And then like we talk for about an hour, and then it's pretty much beer time, free for all, fun time. So it's just for you guys that are rewatching this live stream. That's why sometimes my live streams last 2 hours and 44 minutes. Yes. Yeah, like I'm just doing these live streams because, well, for one, I really, really love doing them and meeting all these people and interacting with the people in the chat. And I also found that it's really, really good on the watch time. So I'm almost at the halfway mark at the 4,000 hours watch time. I'm at 1,900, 200 and something. So I'm almost there. And I'm just going to get a little sub count in here in the beginning, just for my personal reference. I'm at 1,390 subscribers. All right. So let's begin. Angie.
Yes.
How are you doing tonight?
I am good. It's finally cooled off a bit. It's been really, really hot. And we don't have air conditioning, so we had some fans going today, but I'm doing really good now that it's cool.
Yeah. Cool for you is like in Ontario right now is what?
I'm going to say we're at about 25 to 27 right now. So in Fahrenheit, that would be like, I'm going to say 80 around.
Yeah, I was going to say like 75, 80. All right. So it's still like 28, 29 degrees Celsius here tonight. It's really hot. We've had a big heat wave. Like I've never seen this in spring in Quebec. In 14 days, it went from snowing to everybody in their bikinis. Like, I don't get it.
I know. I don't either. How are the bugs where you are?
They're just starting to come out. They are just starting to come out right now. So we were lucky. I was out weeding and working in the gardens and everything without any bugs, really, really hot. Like I've never seen this before. All right, I see my brother
We can't
and
even go outside right now, so
I'm sorry?
we can't go outside because of the bugs right now. Like
Oh,
the black flies are they were bad for a couple of days, but they weren't as bad as last year. And the mosquitoes this year, I can't it's hard for me to go even let the goats and the chickens out in the morning without getting swarmed. So the mosquitoes weren't bad for me last year, but they are horrible right now.
oh,
Horrible.
darn. Sorry to hear
Yeah.
that. All right, so I see some other people
Yeah.
in the chat right now. I see Trav from Trail Trash Adventure Outdoors. Sorry. I see Nicole. Hi, Nicole. I see Enjoy Being. Hello. And thank you guys for being in here tonight. So, yeah, Angie is off grid in Ontario. And if you guys have any questions for her, please put them in the chat in capitals so that it's just easier for me to see them and to give her the question. So I want to start off, Angie, saying, why in the world did you leave the city to go off grid?
Ah, why? For me, I think it was always a dream of mine. It wasn't necessarily a dream to go off grid. It was a dream to live in the country and start a hobby farm, and just start homesteading. About 5 years prior to us making the move, I started doing everything I could while living in the city to prepare myself for like this kind of life.
Yeah.
So I started gardening. I started making, bread and food and canning and all that stuff. I started doing research about chickens and what kind of animals I'd want if I ever got to own a homestead. Um, and honestly, this place was almost like it was a fluke because Mike and I were both kind of in a good spot. Um, he worked in Toronto. I worked at the local college. We were both making great money. And the kids were all grown and they were out on their own. Um, and we were in a really good spot. And then out of a fluke, we found this place and we just decided to come look at it. We hadn't really looked at much before. And we put an offer in the next day. We talked about it and we put an offer in and it happened. And there's no looking back now.
Awesome. And how long have you been there?
So 1 year. It was a year, actually. April, the middle of April was 1 year for us.
Oh, wow. Awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah.
So you guys completely quit your jobs and said, we're moving it.
Yes. Yes, we
Wow.
did. That was, I think, out of everything, even the last year of being here, that was the toughest because I loved, Mike loved, both of us loved where we worked. The only thing Mike didn't like, I think, was his travel because he had to travel at least an hour to get to work every day and
Yeah.
then come home with another hour. Um, but we were both in a spot that we just loved. So um, leaving it all was the scariest, definitely the scariest. So
Yeah, I bet the uncertainty of just not knowing if you're going to be able to sustain financially, that yeah, that would be pretty hectic and
mhm.
crazy. So there's a few questions
Yeah.
in here already for you, Angie. I'm just going to scroll back up in there because people are really
Okay.
interacting in the chat. That is awesome. Thank you guys. Hey, Dragon. I see Dragon. I see Phil from sorry, Millennial Homesteaders. Okay, so how do you heat your water, Angie? That is one question for you.
Um, right now we have a cook stove, and so I'm going to say 7, 8 months out of the year, we have a fire going there, and that's what heats our water. Right now, we don't want to have a fire, so we have a tankless propane water heater, and it does it for the hot days or the summer months.
Awesome. Yeah, propane heater, that must be
Yeah,
pretty efficient.
it is. It really is. But we also just discovered that because this place was completely done up so that it was off grid and was as self reliant as it could be. And so the water heater that is upstairs that is connected to our wood stove, we can actually pipe in propane, so we don't have to use the tankless water heater. So we just found that out, and we're looking at getting that connected, and so that we don't have to worry about the other thing, the tankless water heater outside.
Cool. Awesome. So yeah, and being in the cold environment, because you're in Ontario, it's like pretty much similar climate to me. You gotta run that a lot. What about in the summertime?
Yeah.
Do you guys like gauge and take like colder showers just to like I don't know.
I just had a colder shower because we haven't taken out the propane heater yet. We were having fires up until 2 days ago in the
Okay.
house, so that's what heated the water. Um, but we are gonna set that up fairly soon.
All right, cool. Um, I have Mark from Rolling Homestead and Wild Edibles. Hey Mark, how you doing? He's been working
Hey,
all
Mark.
day getting stuff planted. All right, Ecocentric Homestead. Both making great money. Money is a slavery system. Yes, it is a slavery system. Like having a job is a slavery system for sure. All
Mhm.
right. So I'm just, there's so much people in the chat right now and I'm scrolling through. I know
I
somebody
see.
asked a question and I could just can't find it anymore. All caps, the questions in all caps, guys.
Um,
Oh, North Shore Preparedness.
I
He
see
says he
one.
shouted me out tonight. That's so cool. Thank you. I'll go check that out.
I see a question from Sean in Alaska.
All right.
He asked, biggest issue for me with off grid so far. Um, I don't like our toilet. We are switching our toilet. I know that sounds really simple or silly, but that for me is the biggest issue. It's a composting toilet, which I want to keep, but it has a divider. And it's just really awkward for company when they ask to use the bathroom. It's really awkward for um, pretty much anybody that wants to use the toilet. I hate that toilet. I don't mind a composting toilet, but I hate this one. So it's been on my hit list to change out.
Yeah.
Other the biggest issue for me, other than that, I don't have one other than maybe that we're older now and I wish we did it when we were younger, but it's still doable because we're both in our 40s. So um, that we definitely realize we're not 20 anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And now that your daughters
Mhm.
moved back in the small cabin and everything too, you know, I mean, it gets a little
Yeah,
squish in there, huh?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
what I was wondering is what are you guys on for water? How do you guys get water? Is it art how do we call the artisanal, the very deep well, or do you
Artesian
guys
well.
have a surface well or
It's a dug well.
it's a
So we
dug
do
well?
have a well. Yeah. And we tested our water, and then we also have, or we get our water tested, sorry, regularly, and we also have um, a UV light system and a water sediment filtration system to take out all the sediment, and then it goes through a UV filtration.
Yeah.
Um, and so far, it's working great for us. But we also just in case, we also use a Berkey for all the drinking water. I don't know
Okay.
if everyone knows what a Berkey is, but it's just like a stand filter system that you can put water in and it come out tasting
Yeah.
yummy.
Yeah, because do you guys have good water over there? Do you have like really sulfury? Because I know some people have sulfury water, some people have like spring water. Do you get like do you have to have that filtration system to, like for the drinking water because it tastes different or
It tastes fine to me, but when we did get it tested the very first time, because this place had sat for 2 years, it had E. coli and chloroform in it.
mm,
So I just always put like I want to put that filtration system in, and also just for precautionary, I use the Berkey as well
gotcha.
for drinking. Like
Awesome.
I will boil potatoes with tap water, but I'll drink out of Berkey.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hi, Wesif. He's out in Man, I keep on forgetting. He's not in, is he in Pakistan? I think he's way out there in the Middle East. He's new to my channel and he shows up to my live stream, so it's just pretty cool. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool to
he's
see
he's new
other
to my channel
people on the
as
other
well.
side of the world, like just like
Yeah.
how it is over there, you know? In
Hmm.
Punjab, Pakistan. Yeah, that's it. North Shore Preparedness. Hi. All right. So, Angie, do you run solar or wind power? The colon asks.
Solar.
All
We have
solar?
solar. Yeah, our system is it's quite big. It was here when we got here. We did have to buy an inverter to get it up and going and some new batteries. But it's a fairly large system for just Mike and I, and it does really good for everything that we use. The winter was a little tough because we did have to run our generator with the lack of sunlight, but we know that we want to buy more batteries as well. But during, I'm going to say 8 months out of the year, we're fine
Yeah. All right.
with the
And
solar.
another question
Yeah.
on those solar panels is how much power does your solar panel make in a day? Mark asks.
That's a Mike question, but I know that we bring in almost 2,000 watts.
Yeah.
Um, we bring in each panel is, I think we have 10 panels and they're 240 watts each. So we bring in quite a bit. We bring in more than we need,
Awesome.
especially during the summer. Yeah. Um, but one thing I do want to point out about solar, that because this was it was shocking for me. My fridge that runs all day long, and it's not a solar fridge; it's a regular size fridge. It's a big fridge actually,
Yeah.
and that takes up nothing compared to a coffee maker will almost shut down our system.
Really?
And it's the quick draw. So things like toasters and um, like a coffee maker, a kettle, that
Yeah.
if you don't have a big system, will kill it. So
Wow.
we boil all our water on the stove for the most part. We don't have a toaster, um, and we started doing or percolating our own coffee without a coffee maker. So
Wow. Yeah, I guess so, huh? That's pretty interesting. I would have never guessed that a fridge consumed less, but I guess it's logical because they have to heat up real fast and, you know, real hot real fast. So, yeah, I guess that is
yep,
logical.
yep,
Wasif asks, Angie,
that
where
was
are you
something.
from? She's from Ontario, Canada. She's my neighbor, my next province right next to me. She's not really my neighbor, but like we're probably like, I don't know, 6 hours, maybe 7 hours drive away from each other.
Well, I know to Ottawa, I'm about um, I'm gonna say about to Ottawa, I'm about an hour 45.
Okay, so I'm probably 6.5 hours from to Ottawa. So yeah,
Oh, okay. So we are okay.
should be a little a good drive. We should have like a get together, Canadian homesteaders get together one day. I want to go see Dave,
I
and I
think
want him to make me some of that. What he just posted on Instagram and his Facebook. He had some trout. He had some man, a whole bunch of stuff, all from his land, and it looks so yummy. Dave from Wilderside, go check him out.
wow.
Also, Angie, I put her link in the chat here. I'm going to put it again right now. So if you guys want to go check her out, check her channel out. If you guys like what you see, subscribe. She's a small channel still and growing, but you know, us small channels have to help each other out. And so this is my way of helping Angie out a little bit. All right. So how many
Thank you.
kids, Nicole says?
Yeah. How many kids do we have?
Yeah.
Well, all our babies are between 21 and 25, but between Mike and I, we have four, and we have two grandbabies.
All right.
So
Crucy goes
yes.
does gardening and stuff, asks, how do you deal with the snow on the solar panels? Which is a really good question because I want to know too.
We have a really long extended pole, and we had a broom head on top of that pole, and Mike put a towel around that broom head, and we just wiped it.
All right. Do you guys have a pretty big snowfall over there?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like my car was buried.
Wow.
So yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So you're like pretty much
I
like us.
think you got a little bit more than us, but we're probably around the same.
All right. Yeah. We get dumped on real big time here. And if I had
Yeah.
like solar panels on my roof, I don't think I could deal with it. I'd have to figure out another way, another place to put them.
It's not, it does come off quite easy. I will say that. And typically, like as soon as you go to even put something on the panels, a lot of it does fall off. And then if it's a really nice sunny day, the sun usually melts it off, depending on how much, usually melts it off before we even get outside. So,
Okay, cool. Awesome. There's a question that's like a little off topic, but I'm just going to refer them to somebody else that I know that has the answer to that question. So Samuel says, "How are homeschooling laws in Quebec if you're and are you aware of them?" I am not because I do not homeschool my kids yet. They are still in preschool. They're still 4 and 5 years old. So if you want to go see Mama Can, she's got a channel in Quebec and she does homeschooling and stuff. So you can go check her out for those and ask her those questions. All right. So let's see. Angie needs to check my channel out. I've got the perfect renewable systems for her, David Outdoors 74 says.
David Outdoors, I will have to definitely check that out.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna just go
I
back
see
in the
another question too.
Yep.
How long did it, how long did the planning take for the move? um, it was honestly, I'm not going to say a whim because it's something we both kind of wanted was to move out to the country. We just didn't expect it when it came. And we came out to the place and put an offer in pretty quick, but we didn't know for sure if it was ours for quite some time. The offer was accepted, we still had to sell our house. So yeah, but all the planning in the world wouldn't compare, or like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I know what I'm thinking, but it's hard for me to say it. It's different once you get here, but for me, it just feels right. Like it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't anything like that. So for me, it felt all along that it was something that I needed to do. And so I planned a lot from the time that we sold our place until the time that we actually moved here. I did a lot of planning, and we're starting to put all that into play now. So
Yeah, I mean, 1 year, it goes by so quickly, and you don't have time to do everything in 1 year. It's like just impossible, you know? So I'm sure your bucket list must be really long.
yes, because this place, when we got here, that's a challenge actually. When we saw this place, it already had snow on it, so we never got to see the land. Um, and when we did come here and the snow melted away when we actually moved in, it was almost all raspberry cane where they had already cleared. So we had to take all of that up by hand. And we're still working on it. And we still have areas of the property where there's a mini orchard, but it was overtaken by raspberry canes. So we are still working on that. We don't have any big machinery, so we're doing most of everything by hand.
Yeah.
But we also have some amazing neighbors that have helped us along the way with all of it. So, but the raspberry canes are definitely a challenge, I would say too.
Yeah, they just will not die. You cut them and they grow back like every year times two, you know?
Right? Yes.
Okay, let's see. I'm like on the YouTube chat, and so I think I'm just gonna switch
Mhm.
over to my StreamYard chat because I'm all mixed up now because we see questions differently. So I'm just gonna
Oh, do you?
yeah, I just need to switch over to my other screen here real quick.
Okay.
Okay, Wazif asks, what kind of work do you do on your farm?
Um, so we're just starting to make it a farm. We just got goats. like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. We've had chickens for a year. So when it comes to animals, it's pretty simple. There's not a lot to it as of yet. We're mainly working the land and trying to build some outbuildings right now. And my main thing right at this moment is the garden. So we just finished, we did have one neighbor that came over with a tractor and dug up all of our rocks that were, I mean, there's endless amounts of rocks, and they also helped to level out the land as well, a little bit where our garden's going to go. So now we got to quickly make some raised beds and put all of the plants that I've been working on since March into the ground soon.
Yeah.
But planting here is usually the first week of June. But they're all ready to go into the ground. So that's the main thing, is working, I'm going to say working the ground, making it to a property that we want, and outbuildings.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because it was if you missed it, she completely quit her job, her and her husband, and they are living out there. They bought their property with the earnings of the other house that they sold. And so they don't have a payment, they don't have a mortgage, they don't have electricity to pay. They only have their taxes and, their food and their gas and those type of things. So Angie, that comes to my other question. How do you guys without any income, and everything, like, what do you guys do to pay for those extra things since, you don't have a job?
Yeah, well, for the first year, we basically we paid for the place in cash, and we had a little bit left over from the sale of our home in the city. And then Mike also works like a little bit here and there. He has two different companies that he does some like roofing jobs, or he's also helped building cabins. So he does those during the spring and summer, sometimes fall, but he also doesn't work full time either. So um, we're living off very minimal, but for some or somehow it all works out. So
That is so cool. That's so cool.
yeah,
Like, I can
and to be
sort of
honest, like
relate.
I go back to work. Sorry.
No, it's fine, continue.
Oh, I was gonna say I might go back to work. It when all of this pandemic is over and done with. If there's a job out there, I might go back to work and try to make a little bit of money as well. Just it doesn't hurt, right? Like we don't have to right now, but it just doesn't hurt to also have that little bit of extra money for whatever.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes a little, like, I don't know, I'm talking for myself, sometimes a little break from the spouse, just changing locations for a few hours a day. I'm just saying sometimes it helps, you know. Because being together, like, that's I'm sorry, but, like, that's what I've been noticing, like, Ben and I, we are here full time together, like, full time. We have
Mhm.
the kids, 2 young kids, and, we got the farm, and we got, like, building and everything, and sometimes we just really do need, like, some time apart because we are, like, we're turning 32 years old this summer, and we're 2, like, old, retired, bickering, we're just like a real couple, and we're like, we are way too young to be retired, and, like, to be at home full time. So, I mean,
Right.
yeah, sometimes, like, I reflected, I was like, "Should I get a job?" But then I said, "You know what? I'm just gonna start a YouTube channel," and that's been taking a lot of my time. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's actually been a real blessing for me, because I feel like I'm doing something, you know? I'm not
Right.
doing
Yeah.
nothing.
And it's a piece of you, right? It's something for you. It's something that's yours,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So that's me with this. Mike partakes in the videos, and he he does really good with that. But like for me, I do all the editing and all that kind of stuff. Because when I before like in 2016, I graduated from office administration, so I went back to school late too. Um, and so I'm very comfortable with computers, and so it was kind of something for me to do. My original idea behind it was I wanted to make videos for the grandkids, because
Okay.
I would have done anything to be able to see, my grandparents build their house from the ground up, and I would have done anything to see that. So that was the original goal in mind with videos. But then people kept saying to us, you should go on YouTube. You should try this. You should, and we did. And so that's where we are here. So this is my baby.
That's so cool. Awesome. All right,
Yeah,
so more questions here. Sean Alaska asks, how much land do you have with your home?
we have two parcels. One is 3 acres, and the other one is almost 9. So we have almost 12 altogether.
Okay. It's more than enough, I think, huh? It's pretty good size.
Yeah,
Do you guys have
yeah,
a
and it's
river?
we actually just discovered we think is a full-time pond, and
Okay.
we do have seasonal little creeks and rivers all around. Um, there's quite a bit around us. And then there's also it's about, I'm gonna say, about a 15-20 minute ATV ride. It's a very private and remote lake that barely anybody is ever at, and
Wow.
so we have that whole lake to ourselves on a really hot day. So
That is
we
so
have that
cool.
if we want to go. Yeah.
Yeah, I could have used that today. It was so hot. I
Mhm.
have Dragon
It was.
ask, have you ever had your soil tested for contaminants and needed soil amendments for greater soil?
I've never tested my soil. Um, no, I don't know anything about the soil. I know that it grew really good last year. The food that I did grow, it was really fruitful for the vegetables and fruit that I grew, but I haven't tested it. No.
Okay, gotcha. Because I mean that your land that you're on was completely untouched for many years, right?
Um, it was for about 2 years. It sat dormant.
Okay.
Um, and I know because basically our parcel used to be 100 acres, and it was divided over the years. And the people that owned it originally, that severed it for somebody else, we knew who they were, and we've talked with them, and their soil all around here hasn't had any problems that we know of. So
Okay. I see some new people. I see Eskimo in Alaska. Annette, hi, how are you? I see Cliff as well. Countryside Acres Homestead. Hello. Thank you guys for joining us. We are with Angie, who is from Mianu Acres. I'm going to add the link back in the chat for you guys to go see her, check her out. You guys can go look at her channel if you like what you see, subscribe, and you guys can encourage her. She's still a small channel. I think she's got a little bit over 300. She's almost at 400. She's at 390. So that's pretty cool. You're gonna hit that 400 mark
that
pretty
is.
soon there. Oh, I
Yes.
see Smith Family Ranch. Oh, Smith Family Ranch. Thank you guys for coming in. Sorry guys for your calf today. They lost a calf earlier today.
Yeah, I did see that.
All right. So let's see. Hello again, Eskimo in Alaska. Yes, you guys met on my live last week. She was on my panel last week, and she is so interesting. I really loved having her on. And like, just Alaska is another place. And where she lives, she's way
Mhm.
up there. So like for her to have chickens and to have a whole bunch of stuff sent to her, it has to be all by mail. And it's really interesting. If you guys want to go check out my live stream with Eskimo in Alaska, but the first hour, it was really interesting talk with her.
Mhm.
All right. Mark says he planted out 50 pepper plants and 50 tomato plants
Wow.
today. No way you're in zone 3, Mark. Yeah, you must be in, like, zone 4 or something. Zone 4, I think, is pretty much the time. I'm still gonna have some frost here probably, uh, in June because it always happens.
Really?
Yeah, so I can't plant out
Yeah.
my tomatoes until, like, mid-June, and then I pay for my, weather network. I have, 14 days. I pay, I think, like, $2 a month to have 14-day forecasts, and so I go down and I'm like, "Okay, I think I'm good." And then I plant out all my
Right.
tomatoes.
Yeah, I'm still thinking that we might, even though it's been extremely hot, I'm still thinking we might end up, because I remember last year, um, a frost came in June, and I was dumbfounded. It was because I'm used to, I think my zone before, I'm gonna say, was 5, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. And
Okay.
then so we're now, we're we're between 3 and 4. So we have this little pocket where we live that even 10 minutes from us is a completely different zone.
Okay.
Um, and so zoom in really close, we can bounce between 3 and 4. So
All right. Yeah, zones are pretty tricky because like I can go in my front yard. There's a little spot just like right in front of my house where I have like a little microclimate where it doesn't freeze, but then on the other gardens it freezes. So it's like I got to be really careful. I have a
yeah,
question for you from Samuel. He says, after moving from the city, what were your first projects you started or wish you started?
the first projects we started, um, for me, was the garden and the chicken coop. And we got chickens. That I just had to have my chickens. Mike didn't agree with me. He wanted, to do more outbuildings and worry about all that other stuff, and get everything out of storage. And I was all focused in on the chickens. So, as much as I loved having the chickens, I know that I probably should have waited a little bit longer. But we did. We came last April, and we had to get, the well set up, the solar set up. Um, so we did that with the help of, one of our neighbors. Um, and that was, I think, the very first thing, is to get electricity and water, get into the house.
Yeah.
And then after that came the chickens in the garden, and then Mike built a couple outbuildings, and just a lot of the preparation, because everything around like this property, had sat for 2 years, like I said earlier. So
Yeah.
we had a lot of stuff to take care of inside and outside of the house, and we're still doing it. Um, and we're still doing it. We're working a lot slower than we would have been maybe if we were a little bit younger, but, it's getting done one day at a time.
Yeah, it's an ongoing process. Having a homestead, and especially you being off grid, it's an ongoing process. There's always something to do. Like even a house in the city, there's something to do, you know? But it's just that now we have the animals, we have like everything else that goes around it. So yeah, the
Yeah.
construction, have a hard time with the kids to get everything done. Like sometimes I do wish they were in daycare still, but as we'll see how things go. Everything's opened up. We're just still on voluntary confinement, so we'll see how it goes next week.
Okay.
And then
Yeah. Yeah.
once everything's lifted and we're like, okay, everything's fine, then we might just like send them back gradually, and then like be able to breathe a little bit more and be able to do some stuff because it's it's something.
Yeah. Well, I have, like, when my grandson comes up, we have two grandsons, but the older one comes up to stay with us sometimes for a few days,
Yeah.
and he is 3 in August, and there's no way, like, I mean, I'm sure there could be a way, but it's difficult with him here too. Um, just because you're so focused in on that. So with all the stuff that we had to do, we wouldn't have been able to do what we did with young ones.
Yeah.
Um, we would have had to probably move more gradually,
Yeah, definitely.
because the house needed, yeah, it still needs a lot of work, but, the house needed some work, the property, etc. So,
Yeah.
to have little ones, no, I don't think we could have. We would have had to have done it gradually.
Yeah,
So
like we did pretty much. I don't know if you've seen my full first year in 15 minutes, but I explained like how
yeah,
we did it gradually and the grandparents were there and everything. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's pretty cool. I see
yeah,
Kathy
it's a
from
good.
North Star Prep Center. Hey Kathy, nice to see you. She's in Michigan and she's in zone 3. I hope you're not affected by the flooding and everything. Um, I know that a whole bunch of people are affected right now and lost like everything in their
Yeah.
homes, which is pretty crazy. I know Angie, your kids are there.
Yes, we have two daughters that are there. Because I when Mike and I met and got married, we lived in Midland, Michigan, and so that's where the his two daughters are, um, and it was very hard to watch. Like I know all the areas that they were showing on the news, and I still have a lot of friends there,
Yeah.
and also family as well. And so that was very hard
Yeah.
to have to watch and not being able to go and help other than online kind of stuff, and um, that was hard. So I hope you weren't affected. Um, I can't remember who you said was from Michigan, but I hope
Uh,
you weren't affected by that either.
it's Kathy from North Star Prepstetter.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like if you go in any homesteaders live stream, she's a moderator for everybody. She's like I think
Mhm.
the best moderator around. So,
Nice. Awesome.
all right, so let's go in the chat a little bit. I missed a little bit because we've been chatting, we've been talking. So
Yeah.
here you go. Let's see. She's a three
Yeah.
away
Take a
from.
look too.
Oh, she's a three away from 400. Mianu, you're almost at 400. That's so cool.
Woohoo!
All right.
I know earlier. Yeah, that's from tonight then.
That's awesome. Oh, Dragon says one away. That is so cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for going and getting her.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, Samara says 400 now. Oh my gosh, it's going up.
Woo! At
Hey.
500, we're doing a giveaway.
Oh yeah?
Thank you.
Do you know what you're giving
Yeah,
away?
I don't know what it's.
Uh,
Not as of yet. Mike and we were trying to think of something cool. Um, we don't know what it'll be, but at 500, we're gonna announce it soon. But at 500, we'll definitely do the giveaway.
okay. David Outdoor says, "Really, frost in June? That's how far away we are in the comments. In the comments." Yes, frost in June. Sometimes it snows in June actually here. That's how bad it is. Like, yeah. If we move from here, we're definitely gonna move in like a zone 5 or a zone 6 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so don't forget if you guys have any questions, put them in caps for her. We still have about 20 minutes left to chat with Angie before fun time. If we want to like have
Mhm.
somebody else on the panel and switch it up a little bit. So let's just continue on here in the chat. 403 for Angie now. That is so cool.
Woo! That is awesome. It's been kind of around the same number for a little bit now, so maybe this is what I needed to get into gear.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mm,
I did see a question, and I've already zoomed past it, but I got to read it. They asked what I have for internet. We are on ExploreNet, and it's a satellite internet, so that's all we have really out here.
yeah.
Um, there was another option that we tried, but it was 10 times worse than what we have now. So I will take what we got.
See, I had ExploreNet too when I first got here because there was literally nothing when I got here. Not even, I think there was only telephone line and that's it. And with ExploreNet, I busted it every month and it cost me like, I think the first month cost me like $300. And so
Wow.
we had to be really, really careful. And that's what like in the beginning I wanted to start a YouTube channel, but I didn't because I just didn't have the internet, you know? And so when we switched
Mhm.
it up, that's when I really started to like be able to upload stuff and yay.
Yeah, when we first got it, I think we got it like 8 months ago, I'm gonna say. And when we first got it, it it wasn't. I'm gonna say it wasn't. It was a lot better than what we had, but it wasn't the best. And keep in mind, we also had internet from the city before that, and so we were so used to having unlimited. And that's the one thing that really does suck is that I'm always having to watch our data, but
Yeah.
we do have something called data extend. So we are able to, after we hit our cap, we're allowed to have unlimited, but it does slow down. But we are allowed to stream videos, and I could make a phone call on Messenger. Um,
Yeah.
my hope is that something what happened with you, where you only had Explornet at the beginning, our hope is that that happens here too eventually.
Yeah. Definitely. I sure
Yeah.
hope for you. Like, I like just one day out of the blue, somebody was in the power lines, and I was like, "What are you installing? What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, we're just installing a fiber optic internet." And I was like, "What? Are you kidding me? Like out here? Like you don't like if you don't know where I live, you cannot find me. Like literally."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, that is so cool. That was such a gift. Like literally a gift."
Yeah.
Oh, North Star
Game
Pep
changer.
sitter Kathy, she's not in Michigan, she's in Minnesota. Sorry, my bad.
Um,
Alright, hey, I have a question for you, Angie. So, ever since you
sure.
moved from the city to your off-grid place, palace, we can say, um, what do you miss the
Mhm.
most from the city?
Um, I'm gonna say family. Um, they were always, we were always within 20 to 30 minutes of each other.
Yeah,
And now it's about, I'm gonna say 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on how fast or slow you drive. Um, and it's not too bad of a drive for us, but I find it's harder for the people to come up here. It feels like it's a whole day for them, but for us to even go out to a grocery store, we're about an hour away. So going back to where we lived before doesn't feel like a big deal.
yeah.
We do it often. So that would probably be what I miss the most, is family and friends, but at the same time, we've made really great friends up here as well. So, um, yeah, family is what I'm gonna go with.
Alright, and what is the thing that you miss the least from the city?
The um, I'll put it to you this way: when I lived in the city, I remember I was always daydreaming about coming out to the country. Like every single day, it was like that's what my drive was. One day I'm gonna come out to the country,
Yeah,
and so I don't I don't think I miss anything at all, other than like the important things like family, friends. I do miss my job. I will say that I absolutely loved my job, um, and I miss that. But those are the only things. Like I don't miss the convenience. I don't miss Tim Hortons. I don't miss anything like that. I um, I was made to be here. I think so.
alright. Yeah,
The
I
important things, yeah,
I miss Tim Hortons. I actually do miss Tim Hortons, and, like, my nearest Tim Hortons is about 35 minutes away, and so
yeah,
it's a little bit harder for me because used to go, like, every day when I went into work. I used to be an appraiser,
yeah,
so I would be on the road all the time, full time for, like, 40 hours a week. I would be on the road and, for the
yeah.
city, and so I would have my coffee in hand all the time and, like, I couldn't live
Yeah.
without my Tim Hortons, and so, yeah, that's
Right.
a
I
little
had
harder for
been
me.
I had been in my work because I worked at the college in the town that I lived in, and so Tim Hortons was actually on campus, and that like, I I miss that too. I guess I don't miss the coffee or anything like that, but I do miss the socialization that I guess it came with because the people we were um, one of the smaller campuses because we had different locations for
Yeah,
our school, and so we were a smaller campus, and I miss the ladies there, at Tim Hortons, at my job, everything. So I do miss that,
yeah,
um, but I don't miss spending the money every day.
yeah, that's for sure. Because it really does add up, like, a coffee in the morning and
Mhm.
coffee yeah, it really does add up. Oh, I just see a cabin
It,
dweller says, "Just found me on Alexis Outdoors Live. More homesteaders." Yes. Thank you for coming. Thank you for
Woo-hoo.
stopping by and checking me out. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so, Cliff said I'm way behind in the chat, like, I'm gonna scroll down a little bit.
Uh,
Don't forget
I
all
can keep it a
questions in
peek.
caps. And so, like, if it's not in caps, I'll try to just, like, not look at it. I have a tendency to look at all of them, and I gotta stop doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, good night, Trav. Sorry, you're probably long gone.
I'm at the bottom of the chat. So I'm at the newest questions.
All right.
Or not questions, sorry, newest comments. I see a lot of people are like, Timmy's, Tim Hortons,
Oh
smiley
my gosh.
face.
Jack from the Mindful Homestead says Tim Hortons has my favorite coffee. I didn't even know that you could get that in New Hampshire. Same as
I
it's
will
all about
say,
dough coffee.
when I met Mike, because he lived in Michigan and I moved there after we got married. This how bad I was for Tim Hortons. I didn't want to move there unless there was a Tim Hortons there. And it just so happened that the town that he lived in Midland, there was a Tim Hortons there. So that was the deal breaker that said, okay, I can stay
Yeah.
at first. Because it was a little piece in the States, it was a little piece of Canada. You get to go to Tim's, but yeah. So they it's actually still there. We went back to Michigan in October and November, and they still have the Tim Hortons there. So we went there to kind of just reminisce a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
I had just totally had a question, but then I saw Van Hoot and Second Cup Coffee as well. Those ones are really good. I don't know if you have those, but North Shore, is it short North Shore? No, Crucy. Crucy just said that. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I forgot about those because those are pretty good too.
Mhm.
I think it's outrageous that Tim Hortons is not in Alaska. I mean, hey, we are like Canada, eh? Sean in Alaska says.
That's awesome. Hey, I love that. When I lived in the States, I lived there for 3 years with Mike, and I got the Canada A all the time. I loved it though, because
Yeah.
everybody always did it in fun, and I loved it.
Yeah, I've
We're
only
no
recently started to say it just because people are telling me A, and I'm like, "Well, okay." And I've been starting to write it in the chats. I'm like, "I'm from Canada, eh?"
Yeah,
And I
it's
don't
true. You
I
do.
never say
I
it.
do that as well.
Julian, my brother, he's in Alaska too, and he's like, "Yeah, definitely Tim Hortons would be sweet."
Right.
Oh, Off-Grid
It's
Homesteader,
craft though,
Cecile E.
guys.
Skinner. Thank you guys for popping up in here. I just found this channel. They're Canadians as well. I think they're in Ontario. Off-Grid Homesteader, Cecile E. Skinner. And it's funny, like the small Canadian homesteaders really are good at hiding because there are so many of them that we don't know about. And man, like I've been searching and this one got recommended to me one day and I was like, "Oh, cool. I'm gonna go check it out," and found out they were in Canada, so
And which one was that again?
Off-Grid Homesteader Cecile E. Skinner. Here, wait, I'm gonna go see if I can go get that. Off-Grid. So hard now that we have to type and we can't go click on the three little dots. It's just driving me mad.
Why the three?
Off-Grid.
You don't have the three dots on this one?
We cannot go on the three little dots in the chat and go check out the other person's channel anymore. They blocked it off. I guess people are doing too many sub for subs and stuff. So, um,
Oh, I see.
s- oh, I had it. Cecile Skinner. Skinner. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry if I'm not saying it right. All right, so I got the link right here. Since we're on the off-grid topic tonight, just posted it.
That's awesome. I have to go.
David Outdoor says A.
Mhm.
There are 648 Tim Hortons in the USA, all mostly in the Northeast. Kathy says, "That's that's cool. I didn't know that. I thought they were only in Canada." So they are branching out.
Yeah,
There you
there's
go.
quite a
Thank you,
few.
Mark, for sharing out Angie's channel. And Sean, he's I thought it was a question, but it's not a question. It has it in all caps. Sorry about that. He says, I mean, you folks have bologna for breakfast. Talk about awesome. What about wait, what about food sources? Are you guys on your way to being a little bit more self-sufficient? I know you've only been there for a year, so I mean, yeah, you
We are on. Um, we actually we just ordered, or we're going to receive in July. We're going to receive our first set of meat birds, so we're going to try that. We make our own maple syrup. We're going to start doing a lot more fishing. We did get our licenses last year, so we're going to try to do some fishing. We are in the area. It's called Land of Lakes, so there's lakes 10 minutes everywhere you go. So we have a lot of access to fresh water. Um, we have some fruit trees. This year I'm doing quite a big garden. And I'm hoping to can a lot of our food for the winter. Um, and then that is, I think, it for right now. We do have wild nuts. We have wild hazelnuts here that we have access to. Some fruit trees, the vegetables, um, maple syrup, and the eggs. My hope is we are getting a female goat next month, and my hope is to, when she's old enough to breed and have a milking goat. Um, so hopefully we like goat's milk.
yeah,
We've never tried it before. So
really?
I know that Hungarian dwarfs have a sweeter milk, so I'm hoping that that helps out. But eventually, slowly, a little bit each year.
Yeah, definitely. I've tasted a
Mm-hmm.
goat's milk for the first time of my, well, adult life last year, and I couldn't even tell the difference between cow milk and goat milk. But the
Oh, that's good
producer,
to know.
yeah, the producer said it depends what they eat. Like if you go ahead and give them like spruce branches and stuff, then it's gonna taste a little funky. But other than
Mm-hmm.
that, if they're like on grain and pasture, like the milk is really, really good. Like I really couldn't tell the
Okay.
difference.
Okay. That's good to know because regardless if we like the milk or not,
Yeah.
we want to still breed the the goats, and then hopefully one day um I'd like to get into breeding them like professionally or as like kind of like a side income.
Yeah.
Um but at the same time I don't want to rush into it. I want to get my time to know them and know how to take care of them and properly and
Yeah, of
give
course.
them the best life too. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I had goats, but I got them too fast, and I had to get rid of them because, well, I ate one of them, so we tasted it for the first time, and it was really good. It's just a
Mhm.
little bit like you have to slow cook it a lot more than you would like with beef or pork. You have to really slow cook it a long time, but it tastes really good though. And when it's slow cooked,
Yeah.
it's really tender and like ours was really overweight. She was really fat. So it wasn't it really really was good. I was really surprised. There's not a lot of meat on there, but I mean, the taste was there.
Mhm.
Will you be
Okay.
collecting vegetable seeds from your plants to regrow, replant them? Cruci asks.
I've done that in the past and I'm going to do it this year as well. Yes. Yeah.
All
I
right.
got quite a few um different plants and I'm going to have to plant separate because my garden, it's not going to be like a farmer's garden. It's more going to be I guess like a country garden but on a larger scale.
Okay.
Like a cottage kind of garden. Um but on a larger scale. So I'm going to have a section where I can grow, like, say, if I like a tomato, I'm going to have a section where I can grow it so it's away from all the other ones so there's no cross pollination. But um, for the most part, like this, the seed collecting, I just collect, what I can, and then I grow it the next year. But if there's some stuff that I really, really like, then I'll do it separately as well.
Cool. Yeah. I have a
Mhm.
lot of hybrid variety lettuce and stuff, so I can't really save the seeds from those ones, but, like, I really love growing the hybrid varieties, like, I don't know, like, they do much better with the heat, and they don't go up to seed as
Mhm.
fast, so I have a whole bunch of hybrid varieties, except for tomatoes. Tomatoes, I have a few of them, but m most of them are heirloom. So I'm gonna save the seeds for those ones, and plus I'm really giving them a hard time, but they're doing really good. But I expose them to the cold big time, and they are striving right now, so I'm happy.
Yeah,
I was scared a little
well,
bit. Yeah. I was scared a little bit, but they are bouncing right back, so I'm really happy about that. So we've
yeah,
been
mine
on.
have been exposed to. Oh, I was just gonna say mine have been exposed to, like we had the greenhouse, but even when it was like 4 degrees, I kept them out there to get all of the sunshine they could get, and they look really, really good. So my hope is that, they'll be really hardy for this area.
Yeah,
So we'll see. They've got flowers and they're starting, so we just got to get them in the ground and hope
yeah.
for the best. Yeah.
North Shore Preparedness says, "Are your tomatoes in the ground now?" Only my experimental ones with the big bag. Those ones are in the ground. I'm gonna do a video on that in a little while, but it's still pretty new. So I planted one tomato in that red bag I was talking about in my rhubarb video and my tomato seedlings video. And I got another one out there that is just completely exposed. But then we got really, really, really hot weather and it didn't rain at all. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So I noticed in the cozy bags that I planted, I thought it was just a bag
Mhm.
that you like set up around your like trellis, but you have to fill it up with water. It's really funky looking. Anyways, I'll show you guys that in another video.
Yeah. Is it working okay though?
Well, it's only been like 3 days now. So, yeah, I got planted in the ground, I'm gonna be showing that in my next video, not on Saturday, because on Saturday, I'm gonna get my English version of the Tuesday video out. So for you guys that don't know, I post my English videos on Saturday. My French ones are on Tuesday, but it's the same video, it's just translated. So I've been testing this out a little bit just to be more consistent, and, then I have my Wednesday live streams just to try to help me get those 4,000 watch time because I can totally sustain it now. I have 640, I think, watch hours every 28 days. So once I hit that mark, I'll be able to sustain it. So I think I'm like the 2 last months that I've had would equal to like 7,000 something watch hours if I had that like every month, and it's just been going up
Yeah.
and up and up. So, I mean, I think things are looking up, so we're
Yeah.
getting there.
I think you're gonna really soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working really hard, so I hope so. I'm
You
still
are.
like I think I put like
You.
20.
I was gonna say,
I'm sorry.
go ahead. No, I was gonna say you've really inspired me to make sure. Like I had I was at one time doing 2 to 3 videos a week, and then spring happened, and blah, it's so busy
Yep.
here. But I at the same time I should pick up the camera and start recording. Um, but you've inspired me to think about a schedule that is sustainable for me and the channel.
Yeah.
And so I'm I'm gonna work on that and do like right now I'm sticking to one video a week, but I wanna probably do between one and two, if not two and three. So
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
even if it's one video a week, you just got to make sure that that video is just really good, you know? I
Mhm.
mean, if you're only, like, gonna say, "Okay, I only have time," because I used to do that. I used to only do 1 video a week, but I just, like, really made sure, and I put, like, I put a lot of hours in just 1 video, like a 10-minute video. I used to put, like, ah, man, I if I could put 8 hours on a 10-minute video, that, like, was very realistic. I am crazy editing and perfectionist, which is really horrible, I think, for a YouTuber because it just takes so much time and you have to get used to the editing software, and then, like, if you wanna add in something, and then you have to research on internet, "Okay, how do I do this on my software?" And so it's just a lot of learning, so I, like, include everything together, and the filming of a 10-minute video, like, I would literally put 8 to 10 hours, and so I couldn't push out
Mhm.
more than 1 video a week, you know? It's just I couldn't. And so now it's not
Yeah.
that bad, like, I film 1 video in French, and then I will sometimes I'll film, like, at the same time English, French, and then I will switch over and do something, so I have to reshoot just certain parts, but the editing is there in that video, so all I have to do is just, like, add in a few clips. So it's not that bad.
Right.
Like, I got a lot
Yeah.
better with that. The more you do, the more you get better.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed. I think, like, at first, I was so worried about getting everything right, and I'm still am. Like, I think after I'm done editing, I watch the video at least twice to make sure, because you always find a mistake in the first time that you watch it, and
Yep.
so then you have to go back and fix it and then watch it again. But now I think what I had to learn, because I could spend so many hours on the editing. Um, I'm doing more filming with intent now than I was, because before I just always had the camera on and then tried to throw something together. So now I'm like, okay, we just got the goats. We're going to still do what we're doing and make it who we are. But at the same time, intentional videos is where I think I need to strengthen myself
Yeah,
in. So it makes a lot of difference when you go and do the actual editing. If
definitely.
you have an intent on it, it makes a big difference with editing time. So
Yeah. I'm at that point right now where I'm comfortable enough, like, well, for the past videos that I've done, I'm comfortable enough to say what my next video is gonna be about and already have that planned in my head. And that for me helps me so much, like, for the organization. Like, even if I have like 10,000 projects in my week, I cannot film them all because
right,
it's just too crazy to film everything, you know, it takes 2 times the time and, like, the editing after that, so I don't wanna be too behind in my stuff, so I'm like, "Okay, well, I gotta choose this week, what am I gonna film, what's it gonna be?" You know? So, because man, I do so much stuff here, like, if you would burn out watching me do all this stuff, like,
yeah, yeah,
I'm just gonna leave it at that, like, I work hard.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Hey, we've
do.
been on here for an hour and 8 minutes, and so I think I'm gonna crack open a beer. If you wanna join me, Angie, you can, and I want to, ask I always get Mark up here if he wants to join up here because he's also a homesteader and a really good YouTube friend that I've had the pleasure to meet upon this YouTube journey, so if he wants to come up here, then, I will definitely send him a link. Here, I'm gonna go send it in Facebook because I have him in my Facebook.
Okay.
Here, wait 2 seconds. Mark Rambo, I love his name. Is gonna be able to tell because when I do my live streams, I do 1 hour with my guest, and then, like, once we start going off topic and because it always happens, like, at the 1 hour point, like, I guess we covered a lot of stuff, all the questions, and now we're just having fun in the chat, so if, you wanna join on, Mark, hop on, and,
Yeah.
now it's fun time, and I
Have
just
you
stay on a little longer because, look, I got 19 people in here, and we're all having fun in the chat, and plus I'm thirsty.
Mhm. Nice meeting you too. Uh, I'm sorry, I'm just reading some of the comments, and so I have a few people saying nice meeting you. So thank you everybody for coming out and supporting Mallory, and for the ones that came over to my channel as well. Thank you so much. Um, I love the community. So yeah, thank you.
It's amazing the people that we meet here, and it's just because we're so like-minded, right? It's it's amazing like how we meet these people and like we were saying, Angie, I was like, this is the first time I met you, but I feel like I already know you, because we watch each other's
Yeah.
videos. And so that's oh, hi Jason McDaniel. Sorry, just had to say hi. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I think I saw Bob Adventure, and I don't know if he's still in here, but I keep on forgetting to say hi to him in my chats because we're always on a subject, and he comes in, he pops in, and I don't have time to say hi before he leaves. Hey, Mark. I don't hear you.
Yeah, it's because I shut my mic off.
Oh, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
I am good. I am going to step away for 2 seconds to go get me a beer,
Well, yeah,
and
grab me one too.
I'll be right back.
Good to meet you, Angie. How's it going?
You too. Not too bad.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
Busy, busy, busy. Hey guys in the chat, Grace, good to see you. North Shore, good to see you. Howie, good to see you. Jason, good to see you. Nicole, good to see you. Like I know how to do this or something. I don't know.
Not me. I'm just going to read some of the comments and see if there's any other questions or anything else like that.
I'm back.
North Shore, I am burnt to a crisp because it was 85, 84 degrees today and partly cloudy. And I thought, oh, I won't get sunburnt. It's cloudy out. Wrong.
Yeah.
But I did get a lot of stuff planted. And you're right, Mal. I'm right on the edge of 4 and 5. I'll give you that.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, I think you were saying that you already had leaves, and you were sending me pictures of your green grass, and I'm like, mine was completely orange, like not orange, but like, well, yeah, sort of like orange, like yellow.
Well, the picture behind me is taken 1 week ago. So the apple trees are blossoming. The grass has already been mowed once. So,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm about at that point where I
we're
need to
starting
mow.
get-
North
Yeah,
Shore,
me
I think
too.
the best part of my day today was when I said it was all done and over with. I could come in the house and take a shower. That's the best part of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going back up in the comments because I missed a little piece of that.
A little bit.
Yeah, I missed a little bit of chat.
Oh, that's how it works. Yeah, I was being smart in there. I said, hey, I should become a YouTuber. I should start my own channel up.
Were you writing that?
Yeah.
Jack says beer, gross. Is anybody interested in coming up here and having a beer with me?
As burnt as I am, I'm having water, but I'm up here.
All right, that's fine. What was your best moment today, Mark? The shower. Yeah, it was so hot. I couldn't believe it. It was 30 degrees Celsius, and I went out to try to finish my chicken coop, and I couldn't bear the heat. I had to bring my horses inside because they don't have the shelter yet. I'm building it right now. We're actually sawing some wood right now to build it, and yeah, I had to bring them inside. It was too hot. They still have their winter coats. Like it went from cold to hot way too fast. They didn't even have time to shed it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I didn't want them to get too hot.
Well, I took enough rhubarb today, so we can have rhubarb bread hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, you make bread with rhubarb?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to send me that recipe.
Just like banana bread, just use rhubarb.
Really? Oh, that's gotta be good.
Yeah.
I'll try that. You use the same quantities of like zucchini or bananas in the bread?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not the baker, but he does that all. I don't.
All right. North Shore Preparedness says shots. No, I'm not going to do shots. I actually almost got a little heat stroke today from being outside. My head was pounding. I came back inside and I was a little bit dizzy.
Yeah.
My kids were really tired tonight, and I had to get them to bed with some ice packs because it was too hot.
Last year I had a white t-shirt on and I was planting and I got scorched through a white t-shirt. That's how hot it gets up.
Oh wow.
Fuck.
For us
Finishing it
here,
really done.
Okay, well, I'll
really
send
hot here
the
in the
link.
south, but it's the bugs right now. Like, I mean, I'm used to some bad bugs, but these are I've never experienced the bugs the way they are right now.
Didn't
Never.
you know that the state bird in Canada is the mosquito?
I like to say that where I live, it's the
I do
factory.
now.
It's where they make them.
I'll tell you that for when I went there for my FFA, my senior year for fishing, I never saw mosquitoes they're just crazy.
Right.
Yeah, last year they
Where
were
did you go
very
fishing?
bad. Yeah, last
We
year
were up
here
in
they
the
were really, really bad, but this year they're not even out yet. Like, I'm really surprised.
it was somewhere right on the border.
They're
I know it
coming.
wasn't that far up.
Yes,
Yeah,
how
no,
I use aloe vera for my sunburns.
cocoa butter works really good too.
I'm really lucky I don't really get any sunburns. Like, I was out in the sun a lot today and I had some sunscreen, but my Mexican skin really, really digs the sun. So,
Yeah, me too. Well, I'm a Mexican.
like, I have really, really bad skin, but when I go in the sun, my skin gets really nice. Yeah, I sent you the
All
link
that
there,
vitamin D.
Fox.
All the vitamin D.
Yep. Skin gets thicker in the sun. And it gets a little bit more inflamed, more, I don't know, puffier. That's what my esthetician was explaining me. I didn't know that.
So I was going to tell you there's a hack so you can actually click on the people's names and you can actually go to their channel.
What's it called? Oh, really?
No, it's called Go To Channel. So
Oh,
if you go,
I did do that. I did it. It worked for a few days, and then it just completely would send me crap. It would send me a whole bunch of weird stuff. So I had to delete
really?
it completely. Yeah. I had
Oh
to
wow.
delete it completely. It worked for 2 days. And I remember I was in Howie's live stream and I was like, "Hey, I found this cool app and I tried it and it works." And yeah, like 3 days later it started like being really weird. I'd click on the 3 dots, it would send me to somebody else's channel completely.
See, mine don't have 3 dots. Mine, the names are in green. I just
Oh
click
yeah,
on the name. Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, that's how it goes. But yeah, it's like some sort of weird a thing that you'll see if you keep it on in 3 days, it'll send you to a whole bunch of weird pages. It won't send you to the person's page that you want at all.
It started to do that. I was wondering.
Yep. It'll do that.
Weird.
I'm being interrupted by the first June bug of the season at the
Oh,
window.
I hate those.
Yeah, I know, me too. And they're pretty early. Like, usually I notice them up here around the middle to end of June. And so I just saw my first one, and yeah, I don't like those ones either.
Yeah. Yeah, June bugs. I was out in the garden the other day and I have a really big light in my driveway. And so they always swarm around that light. And they're just like blind, right? They just like bump into you and they hurt. Like they come like they ram you in the face and you're like, what? Like that. Like, I think one of them, like, I think it wanted to die. It came in so fast that I don't know. I think it's dead. It
I was
hurt.
gonna ask you I was gonna ask you the next time I saw you, why didn't you just use the excavator to pull that tarp off? Tie a string around the end of it and use the excavator to pull it off.
All right, so I did that last year with my four-wheeler, and I tore my tarp. I tore it apart because what happens in that parcel, there's so much water accumulated in the
Valleys.
pathways, and
Yeah.
sometimes there are weights that I'm not quite aware of that are hiding in there. And so when I pull it with a machine, I don't feel the resistance, and so I pull too hard and I rip it. And so when I do it by hand and I feel something resist, then I go back and I take out whatever's being weird. Like this time I had to flip out the water. So that's why I wanted to eliminate that parcel altogether, because my other ones, it's fine. I can just like flip it to the side and leave it to the side all summer and it won't blow away with the wind. But that one, it's so high. It's my highest garden and it just blows away at every wind that we have. And I've been weighing it down with sandbags, with rocks, with what else? Used tires. And I've been struggling with that parcel.
You don't use stakes?
No,
Oh,
not for the tarp, no.
yeah, mine's all staked.
Yeah, mine's an 8 mil tarp. It's really, really thick. And yeah, so that one's just gonna I'm gonna scrap that garden completely. Well, I scrapped it and I redid it. So
I went in. I was trying that. The torch is actually the for burning weeds is the weed, and I tried it like 3 or 4 times, and I
you're on.
was like, okay,
My light went off and I can't turn it back on. The stupid remote's not working.
get up and flip the switch.
Mark, it's on with the switch, but I have a remote to change the light level.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, that's why you don't use high tech stuff. You just flip a switch.
It's low tech. It was like $40. My batteries are too low.
He says the flies here are like piranhas. Isn't it piranhas?
Piranhas.
Piranha.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
Be right back.
How you doing, Pete? How you holding up? Thank you guys for still being here and chatting with us and helping me get my 4,000 hours of watch time.
See, that's why I don't. I like going with a light switch.
North Shore preparedness battery gone. Yeah, so yeah, I'm really excited to be able to get my tarps off my other garden.
That was weird.
What?
I got a solution.
Everybody went dead, and then it came back.
Oh,
We're supposed to get some storms tonight. This weather has been crazy because it reminds me of South Carolina. And then when I was stationed at down in Kentucky too, it's like the storm rolls in, it's wham bam, and then the sun's back up and the humidity comes in.
yeah, it's really kicked me in the butt. That's for sure. And we were supposed to have a storm earlier, and I could see the clouds brewing. Like everything was coming. I heard the thunder. I was starting to see the lightning, and then all of a sudden, clear sky, nothing. And I was like, no, I have to go water everything. I was so sad.
While I'm waiting for the batteries to charge, I decided to use my floodlight, so now y'all can see me.
There you go. And you cut your hair?
All of it.
There you go. That looks good.
Yeah, I should do that someday too.
What smooth looks like, Mark. Makes me look like
Never happen.
Still left it a little long on top, though.
I look like a 21-year-old with no hair.
Yeah, Howie, do you want to hop on here? I would love to have you and chat with you. If you want to come up here.
You know what?
Here is the
I have
link.
YouTube on in the background. Oh, my volume's all super off anyways. Never mind.
There you go. So Angie, what you got planting? Are you planting any carrots this week?
Oh yeah, we're probably first week of June. We're gonna do some carrots. Everything's gonna go in the ground the first week of June. So we're gonna do carrots, potatoes, tomatoes, peppers, salad, radish, like everything that I can
Everything, yeah. There
think
you
of
go.
radishes. Yeah,
Oh my
we're
God.
gonna go big, or else we gotta go home.
Yeah. I got a few things. I started a round of potatoes this week. Um, but I think I'm gonna have to take out the sprouts. What do you think, Mark? Because I have some that sprouted out like big time. The sprouts are like this long. Maybe if I just pop them off and then plant them. What do you
Yeah, I
think?
don't know. What are they? Brussels sprouts or
No, they're potatoes.
potatoes? Yeah,
Yeah,
no, don't break them off.
because
Are you talking about the eyes? Are you
yeah. Here, wait. I'll go get one for you real quick. Okay. Like
okay?
they're
Yeah,
going crazy on me. I need to
lemon,
plant them in the
Usually,
ground.
what you do is just you cut around the eye, or do you just plant the whole thing?
I just plant the whole thing. I got so many that I just plant the whole thing. Here,
Yeah,
wait, I'm
just
just
cut
gonna
the
wait
if
to see
you
if Howie's gonna come up here real quick, and then
just cut them in
I'll
half.
go get my potato and show you.
Just cut it in half.
But they're like I'm talking about the plant in itself. They got like it's as long as my arm. The arm,
Really?
it's coming out. Yeah, they're sprouting like because you guys know I didn't finish my cold room. I didn't finish insulating it all. So it's a little hotter than it's supposed to be. So everything's just like crazy waking up right now. I got some potatoes that aren't that bad, but like the ones that were more exposed to the light or that like when I switch on the light, I guess I don't know if that'll change something, but the ones that are more in the middle of my cold room are sprouting out big time.
I know my rhubarb is trying to seed itself. Some of my spinach tried to seed itself already. So
Hey, the
Hey, at least
Overwood
you got
Gardener.
things
How are
seeded.
you?
Oh, my stuff's dying.
it's on
People
the
in
homestead.
Mexico.
Well, you got to water that stuff.
I water that stuff constantly, Mark. Constantly.
I didn't see your last video, Cliff. I didn't. I clicked on it and then I had to switch over to something else, and I completely forgot to go back.
Yeah, no worries. It was just me picking all my radishes out of two planters today.
Okay.
When I was out there, though, I saw a lot of potato bugs, which I wasn't happy with because them things will just devastate a garden. So that makes me a little bit nervous when I see them already and there's nothing even out there yet. So
Yeah, I know. I have one garden that was completely covered with potato bugs, and this year I just told Ben, I said, I think I'm just gonna just throw some wildflowers in that garden and some poppy seeds and see what grows.
I did that trick. I took the torch and I went around and I burned all the grass
Mhm.
around, and that worked out pretty slick. It actually went quicker than me trying to weed eat.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could do that for my I only have 2 rows left to do in my garden for the grass to get it out. But if I put the torch in there, I'm gonna burn my whole garden. It's gonna go up in flames. It's all covered in hay.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna and there's a fire ban right now in Quebec, so I'm not gonna
There's
do
one
that.
here too. As long as you're doing it, it says if you were cooking or if you're trying to stay warm.
Are you
So
serious?
yeah, so I took my shirt off. I was trying to stay warm in 84-degree weather.
84 degrees is like
Ours,
shorts weather.
It is.
yeah.
Just
Our
not
fire
here in
ban
New
was
Mexico.
lifted, so
Yeah, actually, North Shore, I just thought of that too.
7.
Diatomaceous earth works really good with that too, Mallory.
Yeah, for the
And then
bugs.
and you can also use it for your chickens, for dusting your chickens, for mites and stuff.
Yeah, I have some. I actually deworm my horses with that. Angie, what
Yeah.
did you just say? I'm sorry we cut you off there.
Our fire ban, no, it's okay. Our fire ban was lifted about a week ago, so we're allowed to have fires in Ontario now.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's so dry here that we're like it's like we're in end of July. It's completely drought right now.
We're still in it because we had a bunch of tornadoes up north
Yeah.
go through last year and
Yeah.
wiped a lot of our pine orchards and stuff out. And a lot of the roads are still closed up there. They can't even get around. So that's the reason they're saying that you can't have any fire. Well, I'm not even near any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I just I suppose I could have went downstairs and grabbed some hot dogs and used that to cook the hot dogs too and eat while I was de-weeding.
That's what I was just eating.
So I have a North Shore that says you can cut up the potatoes if it has multiple shoots or bury it deep or wildlife will eat them. Put them 8 inches of soil on top of them. So I planted out one row with those potatoes and I did 2 tests with them. I buried them probably 4 inches deep. And then the other ones, I just tried the Ruth Stout method, like just completely just drop them on the soil and put hay over it. So I'm going to see how that goes. I did Ruth Stout last year. I literally just dropped them on the soil, put hay over it, and they grew. They were less productive than the ones that I put directly in the soil, but still, I mean, it was really, really easy to pick out of the ground. So, I mean, I didn't really compare the results last year because I just was so busy, but this year I did half and half for that one kind of potato, so I'm going to see how it turns out.
I got your style too. I did with my tomatoes. I got some that I buried all the way up and I left some up on the top, but I did put azomite in all the holes first
Yeah.
to get that roots going. So we'll see which one works better. But I got a
Cool.
longer growing season too, so
Yeah, definitely. That would be cool to see. So I got 2 tomatoes planted in my tests and one in that bag, in that cozy bag, and then one that's just completely with nothing. But yeah, and then I'm going to do another one. I added another test. I'm going to put 2 of them. I'm not even going to transplant them in an individual pot. I'm just going to take them directly from my seed tray, put them in the garden. One of them is going to be hard enough and one of them isn't. I'm just going to see how that goes.
if the and the way this heat and sun is, I think the one that you're not going to harden off is going to get fried. I actually looked today, and I've got flowers on my tomatoes already.
Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah, so I had to yank them off, and then I seen every single one of those when we did our pruning live stream.
Mhm.
They're shooting up all over the place, so they should be really nice and bushy. I just got to get some re-rod and tie them up, but I couldn't believe it. I got 50 where I used to put them last year. I think the spacing that I had them must have been off because I only got like 30 some plants in there. This year we have over 50, and I still got a lot more room.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So and what about that market garden that you were digging up? Are you going to plant some carrots in those? Oh, Mark's froze.
I went 18 inches and then 2-foot row. You guys keep freezing up.
Yeah.
And then coming back.
No, that's you, Mark, not us.
Yeah, it is you.
Oh, okay. It's probably me.
Oh, now he says it's him.
Man, I hate internet.
I did potatoes in the ground and then ones with just on the ground with leaves on top of it, the overworked gardener says. Yeah, you did that this year? Not last year, so you're going to see how it goes this year?
It could be worse, Mark. We could be doing
Well,
this
here's a
on
question.
dial-up.
On what?
I said we could be doing this on dial-up.
No, that's quite all right. I wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, they didn't
No.
even have
So,
this.
what is your thoughts? Mel, what's your thoughts for onions? And are you going to put them in a tarp or you just put them in the ground?
Oh, I just put them in the ground. I put them 3 by 3. I bunched them in 3s together,
Yeah.
and I do 3 rows. This year, I did something different. I planted them alongside my lettuce, which I'm going to show in my next video. But yeah, I planted them alongside my lettuce.
I'm thinking of doing the punching holes because they're going to be there for until I change my mind, I guess. But I'm wondering if I should plant or punch holes just because I hate weeding and I'm getting too old for that crap. So
you let the chickens do it.
No, because they got in there somehow and I just totally devastated. I had 12 cabbage plants that they almost destroyed. I mean, they had all the leaves pecked off already and everything.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
All right, so my thoughts on the onions. It depends on what style garden you planted it in. If you plant it in like the market style garden, like I have, that's like directly soil, well prepared soil, then I have a really good weeder on a stick. And I don't bend over for my onions at all because I space them at the same spacings of my tool that I use to weed. Here, I'll show you what tool I'm talking about.
This would be on the, because this is going to be the square foot gardening one plot. So that market garden that I made this year is wide enough to put carrots, beets, and onions in there
Awesome.
without a problem. I could do that too.
Yeah, just mix them
But
all in there. They'll grow better.
I got 100 reds that got to go in the ground here pretty quick.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if I was going to try to grow potatoes, but I don't. Oh man, that was smart. I don't know where I can plant them because I have to grow everything above ground. Otherwise, my trees kill everything.
A good friend of mine that lives in Canada, Sam, he does it in trash cans. He fills the trash cans up with dirt, and then he'll plant them in the trash can. I think he puts 3 plants per trash can, and he gets amazing results, just massively huge potatoes because they got so far. He plants them really deep, and as they grow, he keeps covering them up with soil.
Yeah.
So he gets these massive amounts of, like, he'll pull 50 potatoes out of one garbage can.
Yeah, but what size garbage can is he using?
Probably a 32 gallon, just a regular plastic garbage can, and he's got holes drilled in the bottom. It's a cheap way to get your potatoes in, and you don't have to worry about putting them in the ground.
All right, so I found my tool. I'll show you guys real quick with audio. Here, let me see. It's called a terratec.
And
It's windy.
it's
Look, see, those are my leeks from last year. And then my onions on the other side. And so I just go through.
and weed through.
And I don't even have to bend over.
This one here. But overall,
Yeah, but that looks, you don't have hardly any weeds.
Well, it's because I'm on top of them. It's only because I'm on top of them.
Yeah, I know. I'm terrible. That's why I'm putting plastic down everything, because I'm tired of weeding.
And I also don't till.
You know what?
I don't till my soil either, so I don't go dig up the weeds that are below 5 inches. And so I always stay on the surface, and so I don't bring up those old seeds to germinate.
I didn't see him sneak in. Good night, Tyler. Have a good one. Take care, man.
Oh,
Hey, Tyler.
Hey, Tyler. Oh, sorry, I didn't even see you. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Thanks for stopping by. I didn't get your sticker yet, Tyler. I need to figure out what's going on with that. I want to decorate my greenhouse with your guys' stickers. So my greenhouse door.
Thought we were drinking, Mallory.
Hey.
Oh. I've been waiting this whole time to pour some stuff here. That's what I figured I'd drink.
Some Kahlua. Oh yeah, that's good. That's yum yum.
But I don't go easy on the Kahlua. I just kind of pour.
There you go. Hey, let's talk about prepping. How are you doing? Thanks for stopping by.
Let's see if you guys can see how much is actually in here.
Wow.
They're like a super size. I don't know. That's big. That's a big.
You know, sad part is only got about a shot left in here, so the hell with it.
I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this beer tonight, and then we're gonna call it off. I'm not gonna go for seconds tonight because I need to wake up early. I still got my chicken coop to get done. I'm like really stressed out on time, but this weekend my Ben's parents are taking the kids again for the last time before we send them back to daycare, and like everything starts like opening up a little bit. So we're gonna have the whole weekend, and we're gonna go get a nice swing set with like a big, like a big slide that goes around and a roof.
Okay, a playhouse. Yeah.
Yeah, it was given to me, so I'm really excited to go get that next weekend. So I'm gonna surprise them with that because like we're seriously looking for shade here. We do not have 1 ounce of shade other than if we go in the garage here because the sun wakes up to the east and we're fully exposed on the top of this mountain all the way till night. And so we've been planting some trees to try to get us some shade. And yeah, that's why I don't have a chicken tractor this year. We need to get some shade for my horses. And, you know, with Ben's
Oh yeah.
physical capacities and everything, then just building one simple thing takes us so much more time. So
The easiest way for a chicken tractor to do is you take the 2x2 cattle panels or chicken panels, and you just wrap them around. And that's all. I should actually, I'll send you a picture of mine, and I just put a white tarp on the top of it,
yeah,
and then I put a door in there. And the only thing that's on the bottom is I took 2x4 treated lumber on the bottom and around, so that because that's sitting on the ground, I didn't want it to rot. And that thing is super light. You can pull it wherever you want to by yourself, and it's all made out of chicken wire. So
yeah. I might do that for my 2 laying hens, but I don't think I'm gonna do that for my 35 meat chickens because I just it's so hot outside when it's in the summertime here, and there's man, I don't know. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to be on top of it this summer to, like, go give them water out in the field, and, I'd rather have everything automated. So, I'm just gonna go with that, and then next year, maybe set up something outside and have something more automated, have, like,
I
water
got
access,
actually,
'cause I'm up on a
I,
hill. I have to come up with my buckets and walk up
I
that
actually got
hill.
mine. I got the fans going in mine because it's too hot for them, and I haven't taken the panels off yet.
Yeah.
So I got the fans running in there. I do have a regular automated water for them, so they can go on and get water whenever they want. But
Yeah.
I got to do that too. It's like you
Yeah.
said. Every time you turn around, I can do a 360, and I got to go here. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this, and I forgot that. And it's like,
Yeah.
so I could even. I said in the chat before, I'd just love to go plant my butt on top of a mountain and forget about the world, but I don't think I could do it.
No.
I'd be too busy.
Yep. Definitely. Yep.
That's the thing that I want to work on here at the homestead as well, is that like we only have water coming to the house, so the chickens and the goats and the new meat birds that are coming, we have to bring them water every day from the house because we don't even have an outside hose.
Yeah.
So even with gardening, we have to do it all from the house right now. So we are looking at setting up some systems that like off the greenhouse, we're going to build another greenhouse, and then off that we want to do like the rainwater system kind of thing. But we
Yeah.
want to do
You can
that
get
with the goats and the chickens as well.
If you can get yourself a 200 or even a 400 would be even better gallon water tank, you'll have that 30 psi pressure for your hose. You won't even have to buy a pump. You just raise it off the ground and then have your gutters run right into that tank, and you'll have all the water pressure you want for watering your flowers or your garden or anything like that.
How high do you think it has to be up off the ground?
You want it at least 3 feet, because the one that we do, I just did it with a 55-gallon drum, and I was just amazed about the water pressure.
Yeah, because it's a pretty big hole. So if you reduce it, like I know those big tanks have a really big hole, so you reduce it, and
Yeah.
so that pressure on its own. We were thinking about that here too.
The other thing that you can do is if you got a well, you can take a 2-inch. You don't want to use PVC because it'll fracture in the wintertime, but you can put like steel or something down, steel galvanized pipe or whatever. If you go 2-inch or 3-inch, you've got all that mass in that pipe. So when you open up your water hose, it's got all that force pushing it in there. So you're going to have a lot more power behind you. So you can actually water stuff if you want to put up an irrigation system or something like that. It'll give you that power you need.
Yeah, I like that idea. I'm just gonna say hi to Back to Roots Stead. I've never heard of you, so thank you for coming in and stopping by. They're from California. I was born in San Diego, so I'm a little bit like from California, but we moved when me and my brother, actually, he's in the chat, Julian. He's in Alaska now, and I'm here in Quebec. So welcome to our fun time, because now we're not really talking much off grid anymore. We're pretty much just chilling.
It's kind of funny because 2 years ago we went and got an estimate from a place in California to put solar panels on our house. I was going to go totally.
That's my weather forecast for the week.
Wow.
You can have it.
Wow.
Yeah, I wish I could get rid of it.
Let me see.
So yeah, they're gonna fly out here from California, and they're talking about putting solar panels up on our house. And I was like, cool, this will be really cool. And I think I called them. It was like the 6th day with no sun. And I said, hey, how does your panels work when you don't got no sun? And he's like, what do you mean? I said, well, I'm going on my 6th day now without no sun. He says, they're not going to work too well. I'm like, great. Wind turbines would be the ones that I think I would want to go with because it's so windy here.
Yeah, same here. Hi, Sony's Place, and good night, Pete's Homestead. Pete, thanks for stopping by. Thank you so much, and have a really blessed night.
Yes, good night, Pete.
Oh, Nicole
Depend on
too.
the solar panels, Mark.
Good night, Nicole.
It's gonna
Thank you for
depend on
stopping
what kind
by.
of solar panels you get.
Well, I would have to get the ones that actually have the water running through so we can heat the water too.
Oh, the solar heaters.
Yeah. There was a grant at the time that you could do, and
Still won't focus.
you could have that stuff all installed for next to nothing. It was that green deal that they're offering for a while.
Stupid camera. Focus. I'm gonna smack this camera. It doesn't want to focus. Hold on, I'm gonna try to refocus. Don't
Yeah,
worry about my screen. I'm trying to get my camera to focus. It doesn't.
I was having that problem the other night. Mine was all blurry.
No, it's every time I show my phone on there, like it autofocus is on the phone, and then for some reason it takes forever to unfocus.
See, it's that tech stuff again.
Shut up, man.
Yep. See, here it's going to be 85 Fahrenheit tomorrow, and then it's going to go 83. Then it's going to go back down 69, 57, and then we're going to have nights of 34, 38. So it's going to go back down.
It's good sleeping weather. See, now that shorts and a t-shirt there, Fox. 30 degrees.
Yeah, was that 30 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius?
That's Fahrenheit.
I can do 30. I can do shorts in 30 degrees. I haven't done it in a while, but I think I can do it again. Remember, Mark, I live
live
where
an
it
hour
doesn't
ago.
snow.
Yeah, I might have a little bit of snow.
Just a little bit.
I think on Sunday for us, of just looking our weather, Sunday it's going to be 13, so that's 26. I don't know if you guys can even see me anymore.
Yeah.
20 is we get like 56 on Sunday. And that's our high.
Oof.
I did say that there was going to be a cold snap coming through, so
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
yeah. After these last couple
then
days,
I'm going to go get you real quick. I don't think I have you.
back to roots.
Yeah.
I only wish I had snow where I lived. It snows up in the mountain, or in our little mountain, but half the time it's gone like a week later.
Wow, that was weird. I just clicked on the green button there and I went to somebody's David Outdoors.
David Outdoors is he's on he was on the chat earlier.
Weird. I'll be right back.
Green button. I'm not even seeing a green button. I think Mark's colorblind.
There you go. Back to Roots said, I am watching your intro right now.
Green button. I think Mark's on crack.
10-minute of pics. All right. Nice to meet you. Awesome. I love when new people come in to the chat. He's got a smaller channel. We all start somewhere.
Yeah, usually it's 0.
Yep. I have one of my friends that started a channel, but she had a video go viral, and then she like completely scrapped that channel and then started something new with her horses. So she started with like 300 something subscribers, but now it's been like, I don't know, 6 months, and she's had a hard time just getting 25 subscribers. And I was like, holy, what's going on? Sometimes it's really hard.
I've been on here since 2012, and I'm barely at 140, I think 47 subs.
Yeah, but Cliff, you haven't posted any videos before, like that's
2 months
normal.
ago. Yeah,
You had more subscribers than you had videos, like just a
that's
little
the
while
weird
ago.
part. And a lot of that is all thanks to like Tyler, Mark, Spicy, and all them because they were getting all those people over on my channel, even though I had no content. And I even told people, I was like, don't sub to me. I have no content for you to watch.
I know, right?
But the funny thing is, even before I posted a video, I still had 40 subs just randomly from comments that I've posted on other videos throughout the like last 8 years.
Oh, Nicole wasn't leaving. She was just saying goodbye to somebody else. Give me your weather, Mel. Yeah, I'm actually gonna take in my weather right now because I am so happy with it right now. So
Back to roots. You and me
I'm
both,
not
buddy.
gonna complain because there's literally no snow. But one of my friends posted on Facebook earlier. She said, "Look at the difference. The 14 days, and there was like I don't know 3 to 4 feet of snow on the ground after like a really bad snowstorm, and then 14 days later, her swimming pool's open, and you see her son jumping in the pool." I was like, "That's crazy."
That's a dramatic weather change.
Yeah.
It is 14 days.
I'm gonna laugh if you get dumped on with snow now tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
No.
I'm gonna laugh too.
No.
Curse my
Yeah.
state with that. Like jinx my state. Maybe we'll actually get 4 inches.
Hey, Cliff, somebody who is you're in New Mexico, right?
Yeah, zone
Okay.
7 or zone 7, like 7A, 7B.
Okay, so I think I know somebody in New Mexico. Angie, I don't know if you know any homesteader that gardens in New Mexico, but we need to find somebody for Cliff so that he can connect with.
All they garden in New Mexico is cactus.
Cactus and yucca. That's the only thing that really grows here without any water.
Nicole, on the green button is there's an app that doesn't work so well. It's on your Google extensions. It's called Go To Channel. So everybody's name on my page is green. So if I just click on that, it's supposed to go to your channel.
Mark's using a secondary third-party connect thingamajigger.
Sony's place, I'm so happy. She just got a video that hit 12,000 views yesterday. And
Nice.
yeah, and she's got 425 subs. I forgot that we could do that. We could show the comments. That's pretty cool.
awesome.
Michael Holmes said he's a hacker. No, actually, I learned that from Mal. She's the one that told me. She's the hacker.
What? What did I hack?
You're the one that told me about the wonderful extension.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, here, I thought you might have hacked down a tree.
That could have happened.
Or some weeds, or a bush, or a fence post.
Julian says, I've seen minus 45 change to 54 degrees in 3 days in January.
Jesus.
That's a big swap. Wow.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I have to figure out what zone you're in, Julian. What zone are you in Soldotna? I think you're in a zone hotter than me. You get hotter temperature than me.
Alaska's weird anyway, because they got that 24 hours of, or what is it, 23 hours of light.
Elasticity zone. Yeah, they got like 21 hours in the big periods.
Jesus.
Okay, so
think I would go-
Soldotna is zone 4A, so you're hotter than me, Julian. Your temperature in
cold for me.
Alaska is hotter than me.
Y'all
Yep.
ain't gonna beat me for zone heat. Come on, unless you're in the Sahara Desert.
Yeah.
Like me, Wyoming, Arizona, Nevada, Utah, do everything we plant burns.
I know a place that's hotter than you, where you're at.
That's
I
so
don't know what
cool.
happened there. I just zoned out all sadly.
Jack just paid his pig feed with his earnings from YouTube. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
how
check
long
what
have you been monetized, Jack? How many like how does it work when you get monetized? Is it per views or per watch hours? I was always
Per
wondering that.
Actually, no. I think it's views once you get monetized.
It goes. It's you guys got to remember that it's all on Google and it's all about making money. So this goes back to what we we're talking about, Mal, about the right wording for your tags to get the right ads on there. That's how
Yeah.
you make your money.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can be a small channel, be making a whole lot of money by using the right verbiage.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got to work on, figuring out what I got to word my stuff as.
Guy with little truck trying to grow a garden.
I have a huge truck. What are you talking about?
Do you guys do anything for your tags? Do you use any like programs or anything like that?
Sorry?
Do you use any programs for your tags or anything like that?
No, I just manually input the few that I remember to actually put in when I do it.
There's an actual, once you get monetized and you can go to Google AdSense and AdWords, they have a keyword finder in there, so you can, like I was showing Mel, I can actually type something in and see how much that word somebody would be paying for that ad. So like right now, gardening is a huge issue. So starting gardening, you play with the verbiage to make sure that your the name of your video, your tags, and your description, they're all in line, and then the algorithm and YouTube land will then put that at a higher level.
Yeah, I've been kind of using a hashtag hack that Dojo mentioned the other day. If you put like hashtag trending in your tags, it like pops up faster. So I've been kind of sticking one of those in there just to see what happens. To be honest, it's actually helped my videos get a few more views than I would expected. So it does work.
Jack here uses
use
the
this
same one as
program.
I do. Jack uses this one here. It's called vidIQ. I have that one too. It's a Chrome extension, and I use the free version, and it's not that bad. I mean, with those tags, I got a video that's got, I think, over like 6,000 views right now. Much better than all my other ones, and they're just random tags that I put in there. So, I mean, I guess I got really lucky, you can say, but
Yeah.
See, I have
the
an issue
video
with it because go for it, Angie.
I was just gonna say with the vidIQ, I wonder if it's like, have you heard of TubeBuddy?
yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
Like I can go on their channels and I can see the tags that they've used in it, and it ranks them, so I can see where I would be. If I put it in, it'll show me that my tag will be, number 3 on the YouTube, like on the page or whatever. And so I've been using that. I think for the most of it, and then also doing when I do the videos with intent, then those ones I do a little bit of research on. And we've had 2 videos that are doing really well right now, and they're both around ATVs. And then I think, but our top video, it's so funny because we have one video that's like at 7,000 views, but it's an old video.
Yeah.
And it's my dog like mouthing off to my husband, just like talking back to him. And people like that one. But the other 2 biggest ones would be the ATV. They're starting to pick up a lot of traction right now. And then over the winter we had a snowfall like plow, and that one picked up kind of big too. So
we're supposed to ask you, Mallory, about Julian's big or little blue truck.
Yeah, he's talking about my little blue truck.
No, I'm not. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, so my dad promised this blue Chevy to my brother. It's a 57 Chevy, and ever since we're young, my dad always said, "You're gonna get the 57 Chevy, and Mallory, you're gonna get a Ford Mustang." And so years went on, Julian moved to Alaska. I was here with my dad, and he offered me the truck. And I said, I would buy it, but I think my brother's going to be way too pissed if I bring it home because you've been telling him since the beginning that it's his truck. But I was totally ready to buy it. And so I paid my brother a plane ticket, and he came over to Quebec a couple of years ago, and he drove the thing all the way to Alaska.
Whew.
From Quebec. I'm trying to find a picture right now. It's our
That's
old
mileage right there.
I'm really trying to find the picture. Julian, send me the picture of the truck with the Alaska sign. It's a really beautiful one. It's got so many pictures.
Where is he located? Where is he located again in Alaska?
He's in Soldotna. He's on the Kenai Peninsula.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to Google that because I know a few cities in Alaska, and I know some of them aren't even accessible by any roads. You have to fly in.
Yeah. See, yeah, Sony's place. It's a oh man. I'm trying to remember your name right now. I'll just call you Sony for now. It is very important to have really good content, a title, and a thumbnail. Definitely. Ever since I've been more consistent with my thumbnails, and I actually retweaked a few of them, it really, really helped. And I think the content definitely, like if you put out a video and you have really good tags, and okay, wait, Rolling Homestead, trying to share something out here. Yeah, if you have really
Well,
good tags and stuff, but the content isn't there, people are gonna just like click off and unlike and unsubscribe, you know? So I think it's really important.
Oh, that's
Another
the
thing
one
that
thing
I
I've
learned
actually had
too
the
is
advantage on.
oh wow.
This
Mark,
was
Another
a
thing I
4-hour.
heard.
This was a 4-hour time lapse I did for a
Oh wow.
stone.
You get a cover on your GoPro for that, or you just leave it straight outside like that?
Oh, there's a cover.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I could bring it outside in the rain or if I absolutely have to have a cover on it.
Well, it
Isn't that
depends on
cool?
which version you have. I know one of the
Really
GoPro versions
cool.
is completely waterproof up to like 6 meters.
Yeah, Tyler threw one in the pond when we did our challenge in the middle of
Which one
winter.
did he have? He had the GoPro. Was it the 7 or the 8?
I think he has the 8.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking for that little blue truck, Julian.
Here you go.
Oh yeah, the time lapse.
Yeah, your beans are coming up. Or your peas, I should say.
There were beans, and that was another. That was a 14-hour. I got 3 different clips for them things to come up. I wanted to make sure I caught it.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got a picture, but I don't have the Alaska picture, Julian.
See, there you go.
Did you make that rack, Mark, or did you buy that rack?
That's out of my greenhouse that got tore apart.
So that was one of the racks that was supplied with the greenhouse, or did you buy it separately for the greenhouse?
No, that was supplied with the greenhouse, but when that winter storm we had to dump 5 feet, it just totally shredded my greenhouse.
Yeah, see, those are the kind of racks I wanted in my greenhouse, but I ended up buying those steel ones, the silver ones from like Home Depot. Those stupid things are mad expensive.
Oh, I got it. I got the picture. Took me a while, sorry. Try to share this out here.
Yeah, I
Right
definitely
on.
eat more than just what I was munching.
There you go. Oops.
Ooh,
There it is.
That'd be a long ride with that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that made it,
I know, right?
to be honest.
Wow.
The tires on that truck are older than I am, let alone the truck itself.
Looks like my brother sent me a picture, a video too. I'm gonna check this out. Oh, the video is late. Yes, it takes a little while, huh?
Cruisy. How do you
Cruisy.
say that?
Yeah, I think it's Cruisy. He's in Montreal. He's actually in Montreal. He's got a little gardening channel too in his backyard. Good night.
Good night, Tony.
Thanks for coming.
Everybody's leaving us.
I'm just gonna wait for that video here, and then I'm gonna be heading out too because like I said, I almost had a heat stroke today of being out in the sun, and my head hurts. So beer helps.
Drinking the beer is not helping, Mallory. You should be drinking water. Although I guess then technically beer is like 90% water anyway.
Yeah.
Unlike what I'm drinking.
Oh, buenas noches, Sunny's place. I hope you get to figure out that translating and the bilingual channel side of things. I hope that works out for you. I'm still trying to figure it out. Once I get it figured out, I'll share my tips. But yeah, I'm still
Share it with me,
trying
help
to
me
figure it
out so I can make better content. I would appreciate any feedback.
Yeah, Cliff. Well, I told you last week, make shorter videos when you're trying
Even on
to.
this last one, it was only 18 minutes.
That's way too long.
I had to pick 2 containers worth of radishes.
You
And they
gotta
did
cut it
not want
out.
to come out of the dirt.
I know,
My
but you
video
gotta cut
there.
it out. Like if you have a whole bed of radishes, like I will literally like just cut them out and just get like I don't know 2 or 3 radishes and show you. But like I won't show you my 500 radishes that I didn't see your video, but I mean,
I wouldn't mind watching you pick 500 radishes. Then I could see how your radishes compared to mine because mine sucked.
but I'll show you the harvest though.
I had
Like,
like one decent one that was like an actual like store sized radish, and then the rest were like mad tiny.
aw, were they spicy? They must have been spicy with your heat, huh?
Yeah, they were the last one I had. I had a tiny one. It was, I don't know, maybe the size of a dime in a circle. Or so
I
I
get the
guess
big,
maybe the size of a marble, I guess. And that sucker was like eating a jalapeno.
I get the big Chinese ones, the really long ones. Them are the good ones.
Yeah, I had English breakfast
neighbor-
radishes. I had a couple of them that were a couple of decent inches, but again, you need a pot that's like 10 to 12 inches to grow those things. I'm growing them in like 6 to 8 inch deep planters, and they're not coming out right.
My neighbor just did a video on radishes. She roasted them, and they looked delicious. Delicious. So I'm gonna try that for my radishes this year.
I got these ones. They're
Yeah,
not.
the English breakfast radish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had those ones too. I only got about 8 of them, and they were small. I've seen other channels. I've seen another gardening channel grow those. I don't even remember the channel's name, but those things came out. They were 6, 8 inches and like thick as round as a hot dog. Like they were mad. They were huge.
Oh boy, nice smell. I wanted to show what? I'm not able to show the right one. Okay. Mindful Homestead Jack says, Hola el gato. I'm gonna try to pronounce this, okay? Hola el gato a mis zapatos está fuego.
He got a cat in his pants, my friend.
He says the Mindful Homestead is now a bilingual channel.
And basically, if you guys ever watched, oh my God, no, I forget. It was Martin Short, I think, and then, oh my God, Bad Boys. Was it Bad Boys? No, it wasn't.
Martin,
Oh my God, what was the one where he was like standing on the border of Mexico and he was trying to he was stealing something, but they couldn't get him because he was on the border, and then he told the guy that he had a cat in his pants, and they just looked at him and walked away. Like I was like, what the heck?
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember the name of the movie, and it's like drawing a blank.
Hey, Bettina. I saw her in Raspberry Rock live stream the other day. Okay, so North Shore Preparedness shed some light on this channel. I think they're in Ontario too, and they're called Raspberry Rock Off Grid, I think, or something like that. And he's got like a live stream that there's like 300 and something people watching, and he's just there with his music, drinking his rum and coke and stuff. And I thought it was so cool. Like the vibe was really cool. And I still don't know how he doesn't get copyrighted for his music though, because he plays really good music, and like I don't know, I just don't know how he does it. But
What's wrong with my music?
what?
What music, Mark? I've never heard any music on your channel.
That's because you
dog fart.
Dog farts, yeah.
But yeah, so they're in Ontario. She says Raspberry Rock is near Maddock, Ontario. Yeah.
I did figure out how to put laser.
That's awesome. I'm north of 7, Britt. Is it Bettina? So I'm north of you, about 45 minutes.
He says, I'm not some creep with a cat in my pants.
That's right, I forgot. Zapatos' shoes.
All right, that's all. Well, you joined in a little bit late, Bettina, but I had Angie on here first, and we were talking about her journey from leaving from the city and coming off grid. And so she's been off grid for a full year, And so we were just asking her a whole bunch of questions, and she was talking to us about her life there. And if you want to go check out her channel, I will try to send that here. Here, wait. And because I was
Said
just
she's
about to head out.
Yeah, I was just gonna say she's in Oshawa, but she's Raspberry Rock near Madoff, and that I came from Oshawa when I moved up here.
Links in the
So
chat. I
where
already
you
put
are,
it in there.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Go, Mark, go.
You're faster than I am. All right, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna head out because yeah, like I said, I have a really bad headache, and I'm just gonna have to go to bed because I'm tired, and I have to go water my plants before going to bed because it's still too hot, and the storm stormed by us, and it didn't even hit, so I didn't even get any rain. So I have to go
But isn't it
water
like
stuff.
almost midnight over there for you?
Yeah, it's midnight. Yeah, it's
Midnight 13 or whatever.
yeah, midnight 13. Yeah, 0013.
I was going to say that's what old people do, but it's only like 11 o'clock here, so I'll keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, I still have my rounds to do. I'm actually gonna go outside and go water my plants, and then because I water them pretty much before going to bed. These days, I usually water them earlier, but now with the live stream, I just was sort of like scrambling to get everything set up. So yeah. Oh no, shore preparedness is still in here. I thought he was gone.
All right, guys. You guys all take care. I'll catch you in the next one.
Yep.
Later, Mark.
All right, guys. See you, Mark.
Thank
Take care, buddy.
Thank you, Angie, for
Night.
being here. And thank you, Cliff,
you
for
for
coming
having
up
me.
and entertaining us as well.
Yeah, I try to be as entertaining as I can.
All right.
Take care, all. Have a
Talk
good
to you
one.
guys later.
Bye.
Good night,
You
guys.
too. Bye.
All right. Alone at last. No, I'm just joking. All right. Good night, Howie, Bettina, Julian, Nicole, North Shore. Love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. Bye.